Well, hey there, if you are looking for a wonderful, easy sourdough recipe to make for your family tonight, this is the one. Well, hey there, my name's Emily Myrick from the blog marriedmyrick.com, and every Wednesday I upload a new video on attainable homemaking for busy working women. So be sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss any new recipes or videos on homemaking. Okay, you guys, this recipe was something that I whipped up because I saw focaccia bread and I was like, I can make that. And I was thinking that it was going to be a really easy process. But guys, the recipes that I was looking up were really complicated, and I am more of a sourdough baker using discard than doing a multi-proof step process. However, if you do want something a step above that does require a little bit of effort but is still really easy, I recommend my sourdough Dutch oven bread recipe. I just uploaded it last week. It's really, really good, really easy to make. But this sourdough focaccia, all the recipes that I could find online were really difficult. So I came up with something that I thought would work, and it's been a hit. Let me tell you, especially when we're quarantined, I love to drop off bread for people, and this is a really easy go-to recipe because it is seriously simple to make and is so delicious and very impressive when people receive this bread. Now, this bread is also great in many different ways. I love to eat it just plain. You can also dip it in olive oil with spices or balsamic vinegar, or you can use it with pasta and dip it in red sauce or white sauce or any kind of sauce you like. Or you can also cut it in half and use it for sandwiches, which my husband loves to do. Now, there's also a lot of personalization that you can do to this bread, but I'll get into those steps as we go through the recipe with you guys. So basically, if you are wanting to make this for dinner, the night before, you want to feed your sourdough starter. Now, if you are wondering how to feed your sourdough starter, just check out this video where I dive into all of the basics on sourdough starter. But then that next morning, the morning that you want to bake this bread, you want to, in a separate bowl, mix 1 cup of fed sourdough starter, 1 cup of warm water, and 2 cups of flour. Now, I used unbleached all-purpose. I just find that it works the best. It rises really well. And if I cannot find unbleached, then I just use bleached flour too, which it's totally fine. But the all-purpose flour works the best. Then you just want to mix everything up until it's well combined, and then top with a drizzle of olive oil and cover with a tea towel. Then you are going to let it rise for about 6 to 8 hours. Then about an hour, maybe 2, depending on how warm it is in your kitchen or wherever you're letting your bread rise. If it's colder, err on the side of more 2 hours. And if it's warmer, you can maybe get away with just 1 hour. But an hour or 2 before baking, you want to punch down your bread that's in the bowl, or your dough that's in the bowl. And then you're going to add a pinch of salt, your seasonings, which I use oregano and rosemary most frequently, but you can really use any kinds of seasoned herbs or anything like that. And then I add another drizzle of olive oil, and I transfer it to a 9x16 baking pan that has been greased. Then I cover it and I let it rise. After, you have to make sure that it's spread all throughout the 9x16. I use it, just a spoon to spread it out, and it might take you a little bit of time because it's not a very liquid batter, but you just, shape it in the pan and then cover it with the towel and let it rise. Now, then you preheat your oven once it gets closer to the time where you want to bake it. And right before you put it in the oven to bake it, I like to just shape a couple little holes with my thumb. And you can either put tomatoes or olives or any other kinds of vegetable on top if you want. However, typically I will just do fresh minced garlic and freshly grated Parmesan, and it is so delicious. A lot of times too, I'll add a little bit more dried rosemary on top as well. Okay, and then you are just gonna bake it for about 30 minutes or until it's nice and golden, and then just transfer it to a drying rack, and you'll be ready to eat this bread in no time. It is absolutely delicious. I really hope you like this really simple, delicious sourdough recipe. So if you're gonna try it for dinner, make sure you give this a thumbs up and leave a comment below if you have any questions about this recipe. I'll see you guys next week.